Hi, everybody. We've got our Mel here and we're both dragging our asses. I laid down yesterday. Of course, it was a horrible 49er game, so I had to change the channel. But I laid down yesterday and barely got out of bed just to get me something to eat and use the bathroom. How about you?
Well, I got up at 3 in the morning, which I didn't mind. I went to bed early the night before, but when I got to San Francisco Airport, there was hardly nobody there, actually.
Yeah, but what time were you there?
Oh God, quarter till 5 in the morning.
Yeah, so that's San Francisco's don't run early like that.
Well, that's why I like to take an early flight
And
because
you had one way, which is the best way to go.
bingo. And
And
then
then you landed in Chicago at what time?
we landed in Chicago at 1:10 or 1:11 Chicago time. Actually, going to San Francisco from Chicago, it took like 4 hours and 40 minutes. On the way back, it was like 3 hours and 45 minutes. So we must have had a tailwind.
There you go.
But when I left here, it was like in the 60s. And when I went outside, I had that jacket on, that light jacket. It was like 33, and I'm like, whoa. So there was just you could just see a little sprinkle of snow here and there. But then last night, I went to bed early because I was really tired. And when I woke up this morning and looked out, we had about 2 inches of snow on the ground. So some people
Wow.
got four further south of here, but for us, 2 inches is nothing. You know, the
And Annette made it back. Her flight was delayed but not rescheduled. And Joy made it back. And who else?
Sue, she made it back.
Sue Montgomery made it back. Kirsten just right down the
Just
street. Just
lives there.
perfect. Just perfect. And the people that came were
Yeah.
rocking it.
Uh,
They were so sweet.
it's always nice to see, the people that in the community on YouTube. David was there from Twin Terrell. Uh, it was nice to meet him. But it's just nice to meet the people that also, are our subscribers and that watch us on YouTube. And the people
Right.
were absolutely wonderful.
And Ness showed up the last night just looking adorable.
Yes. And it was nice to meet
It
her.
was so funny, you guys, because Kirsten, she's the sexy mama. She's wearing this short skirt with her boots, looking adorable. And I yelled, everybody was laughing. I said, "What are you doing with my skirt?"
Ah,
It was funny, but she did a great job.
yes, she did.
And Annette did a great job. Annette was so nervous. She did just fine.
She did fine. I'm so used to talking in front of people. I used to get really nervous. So I understand that. But now I kind of like, you just get them, do what you have to do,
I'll
right?
tell you, it helped because sometimes if I had to go run and use the restroom or something, you took over for me and just floated. You just, no problem.
Yeah, I'm good in a pinch, I suppose.
But thank you guys who showed up. Now, I'm
Thank
not
you.
doing anything for a year or so. If you're doing something, you can tell people later, but I'm not.
No, maybe next year another event, but that's a different song for a different day. But for this year, no. I do have my trip in May, and people are interested in the Danube, but at our doings, if you at our event in Benicia. So if you're interested, call my office immediately because it's selling out fast.
Dan, you?
Yes, the Danube
Now,
departs.
listen, those events aren't psychic events. Those are just travel.
It says Psychic Adventure Tours. That's the name of my little business, but it's like travel with me. So people get to
Yeah.
meet me and hang out with me. Just like in Benicia, we get to hang out with people. It's kind of like that. But I mean, each day they're seeing something different. And the thing is, on those river cruises and all my trips, there's really no time to teach any seminars or do anything like that because there's always a tour or there's always some event. People do have downtime and free time, but in the free time they want to explore and shop and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, thank you guys for your questions. I want to get down to the nitty-gritty right now.
Yes.
So
Oh, and
please
thanks to
bear
Andrew
with
Nikki for all the things he sent.
Oh, oh my God. He was in tears when he saw that video we did. He sent a bag that was about this big, right?
Yeah.
A full box of Andro not little samples. I'm talking full amount with the instructions how to use the product. It was unbelievable.
It was,
So
and
generous.
people that were using it were just raving about it. So
Yeah, some people had never used it before, so they started the program the day they took it back to their hotel room, and they were quite pleased.
they were just raving about it. So
So if you're looking for him, it's Andro, Andro
uh dash Nikki
dash
IKI.
Nikki.
Yeah.
Oh, and guess what, you guys? If I ever had another event, I don't think I'd mess with no $16,000 uh, place that brought all this food with has a special chef. But it was all right. It wasn't top notch. I would have a taco truck.
Oh, that would be fun.
We had a taco truck. Do you remember the name?
Yes. Wait, hold on.
Just
Taco
like,
Jalisco. Taco Jalisco.
oh my God. Even Annette says the next day, I gotta have that for breakfast.
It was really good.
So let's talk about now they've decided that maybe even by Wednesday, Johnson has asked everybody to come back. They're going to have a budget. Now, let me tell you guys something. You can hate me or whatever you need to do. I think this one's going to go through, and let me tell you why. Because the Democrats, as much as they try to hold off for benefits for people's health care. And by the way, part of this, they promised to readdress health care come December. They won't do it. You know, they lie about everything. So, but what happens is it doesn't hurt the Democrats, it's hurting the Republicans. So the other thing is that Congresswoman will be sworn in. And then you're going to begin the process of the reveal for, but Trump will fight it tooth and nail. Trump will fight it tooth and nail, you guys. He could care less about people not eating or struggling. So I just don't trust him as far as I could throw. 8 Democrats have decided to vote yes on this. And let me tell you the interesting part. The 8 Democrats who decided to vote yes on this plan, none of them are up for revote.
Right.
So in a way, it was like maybe the other Democrats said, you guys go ahead and say yes because we can't. I almost feel behind closed doors and with all the constituents saying, how am I going to feed my family? I almost feel like they said, we're going to have to just bend on this one, but don't worry, the damage is done to Trump. Because did you hear the booing when he was at the game, the football game?
Yeah. Well, if I can just interject something here, before we went to Benicia last Monday, we were on my show and we were talking about the shutdown, and we both said that the feeling was that Trump organized this shutdown, told Johnson shut it down because it was right before election. He thought that it would help the Republicans in the election, and
Absolutely.
and guess what? And we had said that right after the election, I'll lay you $1 to a donut, the government will open. And here we are, 7 days later, and we both said about a week after, and here we are.
Yeah.
Government's going to open up. You know, the so really, if you think about it, and I heard, Trump's propaganda arm, a certain news channel whose name I won't mention, say that the Democrats caved. Um, I don't see it that way.
Only 8 out of all of them.
I don't see it that way. And the other thing is the 8 Democrats that gave in, not gave in, but decided to reopen the government because people were hungry, people were starving, not starving, but hungry.
And also, this flight stuff is a big deal.
Flight stuff
People
was
can't plan
huge.
on Thanksgiving. Yeah.
That would have cost billions of dollars in losses. So they said, we'll reopen it. But they really just kind of kicked the can down the road. They didn't, they agreed to fund everything until January. My feeling is the MAGAs will lie about it and won't keep their word. But, you know, 2 questions. One, even though those 9 Dems voted to reopen the government, the question is, they're not going to run up. They're not going to be up for reelection, but will it hurt the people that replace them, the Democrats that run for election? Will those Democrats win because of what these Dems did?
No, because anybody's going to go for a Democrat before they go for, there's nothing that the Republicans have put on the table that's appeasing anyone. They're just mean-spirited, awful people. Because look
Bingo.
at this. This will go through and actually things will start to get better. People are really working to just vote them out come next November.
And it's going to help in the midterms as well. So,
You
but
know, we have a short, we don't tend to remember things,
right,
but I don't see us being as angry towards Democrats as we will be towards Trump and his
bingo.
goonies.
Well, who's the guy from, I think, the South? I saw you posted. I watch him too. I can't think of his name, but uh, he said that he's a Democrat and he's clearly anti-Trump. And he said he thought it was a brilliant move on the Democrats' part to hold out as long as they did, because at least it sent the message like, wait a minute here. And it also made the MAGAs and Trump look really, really bad. It back
Right. And look how long the longest holdout ever, and they still wouldn't budge. He could care less. And he's having parties, football parties, and he bragged about the ballroom again. It's like his priorities suck.
He doesn't care about his constituents, and that's the whole problem with him and the MAGAs. It's like Marie Antoinette, the
Let them eat cake.
let them eat cake, and that's the exact thing that's going to bring him down. But my guides still tell me that the women will bring him down. He's not going to finish his full term in office. Shady Vance, there's a lot of dirt coming out about him. And I still see Pam Bondi going to jail, Kash Patel going to jail, and a bunch of other ones. I also saw that Trump pardoned Giuliani, but it doesn't mean anything. It's
Yes,
just
Giuliani was convicted or will be convicted in a state court.
correct. So that pardon doesn't mean squat. It's
Yeah,
just, he's trying to pressure the states, but the states are going to go, we're not having it. That man's going to jail.
yeah, yeah.
And
So
so,
also the good news is we just found out that the Supreme Court said no to the that
marriage.
woman that looks like a waitress. What's her name? Like a
Kim Davis
from
in
the
Kentucky.
1950s.
Now, let me just say something about her.
Okay.
She's up there. I have to use my southern accent for this one. She's up there caterwauling and blabbing about caterwauling, we call it, and blabbing about how gay marriage is bad and it's against the scripture. There's nothing in the Bible against gays being together. She might quote Sodom and Gomorrah, okay, but that's Old Testament. If you're really going to follow the Bible and you're a Christian, you go with the New Testament. That's number one. Number two, who is she to holler about gay marriage? She's been married 4 times, and she was married to one husband, and 5 months later she had a baby.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
either came from him or somebody else. Immaculate conceptions just don't happen anymore. Uh, so
I'm
who is
so
she?
surprised how fast they kicked it out, though.
Well, the hypocrisy of her, all right. She just wanted to get news again, period. And I am glad the
Because I
Supreme,
feel people were supporting her doing this.
oh, a few, yeah, some were, of course. But I'm just so glad that the Supreme Court just said nope. Um, so it looks like they're starting to grow a set and stand up for a few things.
Right, exactly. So,
Really,
well,
even if they had overturned it, Biden signed something into law before he left office, except the states could have then decided if they wanted gay marriage or not. But even if somebody like Texas tries it, it's a done deal. The court's not going to hear it.
there you go. Will little Mikey Johnson have any repercussions for giving the Republicans 6 weeks of vacation? I
Huge.
see. I don't know what's going on with my throat.
Mine too. Have you been coughing? I've been coughing a dry cough.
Coughing. It's like something's in my throat.
Yeah, me
I
too.
see uh Johnson, what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene really giving Johnson a what for?
I see I don't know if it's her, but people in the House to come up with a motion or whatever they do to get rid of him as Speaker. They did it with McCarthy. They're going to do it with him too. I've got a feeling about it. What do
Yeah.
you?
Oh
That's
yeah.
what I see. Um, here again, he could. Johnson is blaming the Dems, but he's the Speaker of the House. All he had to do was call him back. There's nothing they could have done.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so. Um, it's going to come out that Trump was behind it, telling him, close the house down. I also think that Trump didn't want the Senate to reopen the government. He was behind,
Oh wow.
oh, yeah, because then I just think that he was behind all of it. Uh, but the bottom line is, it's not going to bode well for Johnson because here again is what we talked about earlier, that same idea of let them eat cake. Here people are needing their SNAP funding. Here people are trying to get this. People are working without getting paid. You're talking about cutting the airlines by 20%, and Johnson's letting people play on
I
vacation.
saw that guy, what's his name? Is it Bissett or someone in charge of aviation? Maybe not, it's not Bissett, on Fox News. And they said, well, why are private rich owners still able to fly in their private planes, yet you're grounding commercial airlines? He said, who? Who's flying?
Yeah, right. Yeah, let them eat cake, right?
Yeah. So go ahead, ask a question.
Oh, I'm going to use yours because I didn't post anything. So give me just one second. Let me get to it. Um, you ask one while I'm looking. How's that?
Okay, well, I want to know why are cabinet members, this is from Catgirl, why are cabinet members living on the Air Force bases?
Why they're living where?
On the Air Force bases.
Um,
Like Christy Gnomes lives at the Coast Guard one, but why are they all moving into generals' homes, taking it away from generals?
because
I
it,
think it's for the security.
so do I. And it's also a way of those generals that were fired or that retired or whatever. Trump saying, "See, we can replace you with people." In other words, and I wonder if they're paying rent in that housing. What do you think, Linda?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, I don't
She's
think
not.
so.
Kirsty Gnome isn't paying a damn thing, and she got her boyfriend in there too.
Right, and that's the problem, and it's a waste of taxpayers' money. And that's another thing that's going to come out. Why are these people living there for free
Right.
and having to remodel it? And who paid for the remodeling? The taxpayers.
Yeah.
Some of those very people who wanted to get their SNAP benefits and couldn't.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. You got one?
Yeah, give me just a second here. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, I gotta scroll. Excuse me. I'm sorry, Linda. I'm just trying to get there. Okay. Um, this is Barbie Pomala says, hi, Auntie Mel and Auntie Linda. Will the Dems tent grow even bigger? And is the clock running out for the MAGAs?
Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind.
Right. So,
They
okay.
all think that, pushing this, oh, the Dems caused this shutdown. No, they didn't. And people can see with their own eyes.
Exactly.
And
People know.
so they know that they absolutely wasn't going to give anybody a break on health care.
No.
And may I say the Dems really said they had hoped they would do something, but they won't.
But the MAGAs still are not going to be able to crush Obamacare. I mean, they might get a few steps ahead on trying to get rid of it, but they will not. And once Trump is gone and the MAGAs are gone, I see Obamacare back in full force.
That's what I see too.
So, okay, this is a good one.
Listen,
Lady,
it'll be over by November, December of 2026 because there'll be such a winning for Democrats running the show. Trump has no power at all.
Well, really, all they did with reopening the government this time is just kick the can down the road a little bit
Yeah,
further.
yeah,
That's really all they did.
yeah.
Um, okay, Lady Night Vamp says, will King Charles hand over the files they have on Epstein, or will Andrew give Democrats information on Epstein?
No.
I don't think so. But I think the woman, my psychic light bulb went on. I've still got a feeling that Mike Johnson is going to try to pull some shenanigans to keep from swearing in the one that what was the lady's name he wouldn't swear
I
in?
can't remember it, but she's been waiting. She's going to get sworn in. I'm
She's going
not.
to get sworn in, and she is going to cast the vote. Yeah, you've got to make the Epstein files public, but then they're going to say there's no file. They'll want to redact it,
Oh, they're going to lie and try to pull some stuff, but in the end, they have to release
but
it.
I see the full file coming out, and a lot coming out before the midterms about it.
Okay. Okay.
Because, like you said, people tend to forget.
So Gail wants to know, are we getting rid of Chuck Schumer?
Um, he's the minority one in the Senate, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Chuck. Um, I see somebody replacing him, but I see somebody that's really a dynamo replacing him. Um, I still see him. I still see him in the Senate, but
They
maybe
won't choose him as the leader.
correct. Exactly. I was going to say stepping down, or they won't choose him. All
Let me look.
right. Um, yeah, you're gonna look and see what you got.
He has to speak. He has to carry a big stick and step lightly. A
Right.
lot of people don't want him around. They'll give him an opportunity to be still on the Senate, but he won't be the speaker.
Okay. Um, DM says, was there cheating in the last election, this past one? Did Dems do even better than it appears? I'm wondering if they are still skimming the votes. Thank you, it says.
I don't see that. I see they did really good.
I think the Dems pretty much what's reported is what they did, and I don't think they skimmed votes. I think it came as a surprise to the MAGAs that the Dems did so well. I mean,
Yeah,
I think they thought that blaming the Dems for the shutdown would really, help the political chances for the MAGAs, but it backfired. It went the other way.
yeah.
So
But we said this. I predicted this.
we said that. Yeah, yeah, you did. Okay. Your turn.
To ask you a question.
Yep, your turn, I think.
Um, okay, hold on. Do you see Congressman, this is Judith, abandoning the Republican Party and moving to the Democrats before Thanksgiving?
No, but behind the scenes, what I do see is them being willing to reach across the aisle and work with Democrats
Yeah.
so that something like this doesn't happen again. I think some of them were working behind the scenes, but kind of to no avail.
Well, now with this Congresswoman being checked in, they
Right.
said when you're going to see a lot of them jumping ship is when it's voted, yeah, release the Epstein files.
Once the Epstein files are released, yes.
Yeah,
What I do see is an end to this political tribalism. It used to be, well, people would reach across the aisle, but now it's become this whole tribalism thing. And I see an end to that
good.
once Trump is out of office. I mean, we'll still have political parties, but what the party wants is not going to be all end all. It'll
Yeah,
be what the candidates say they're going to do. I keep telling you, my light bulb is going on, and it just hit me again that Newsom is going to run for president, and
I
I
know
can
he is. Yeah,
I can see him as president. It just hit me. People say no, but I feel it.
yeah, yeah. We felt it a long time ago too.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a real unifying force, and I think he'll be one to help end some of that tribalism, the political tribalism I'm talking
So
about.
can you see Jack Smith being pulled in as the Attorney General? Or do you think it's more like Letitia James?
I think it's I think it's more like Letitia James or somebody like that. I mean, behind closed doors, they'll talk to Jack Smith about it, but my feeling is he won't do it. He would be better kept as special prosecutor. And some of the stuff that happened with the things that he was taking a look at, that now Trump has put on the back burner or tried to do away with, it's going to come forefront again. You'll see what I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah, he is so hated. Boy, those boos made me feel so good when he was over there at the Washington. I saw a few
Absolutely.
people clapping, but mostly everybody was giving the finger.
All right, your turn.
Um, who will win congressional vacant seat for Tennessee special election on December 1st? The reason Moses Mike Grinder Johnson won't seat the AZ representative, hoping to cancel her vote from releasing Epstein files. Oh, so he wants to cancel her out because he thinks a Republican will get in for the special election for Tennessee. What are you seeing?
I see blue is what I see.
It's so blue, it's not even funny, you guys.
That's what I see is blue. So um he can try all he wants, but I I see blue taking it.
They're so funny. Bannon and every if the Dems take over the midterms, Trump is going to be impeached. You think? You
Well, but
think?
yeah, they'll impeach him, but impeach means just to bring to trial in the Senate, but you have to have enough votes. I think it's 60% in order to do that.
They're still hurting the Democrats. I mean, the Republicans are still hurting the American people. So
Absolutely.
they're telling us to wait for it because what's going to happen is as people can't afford to have health care, as things just crash and burn, housing is going downhill. Uh, where's the motivation for people to vote for another red neck?
It's gone.
Even Tennessee will change their mind.
Absolutely. A lot of red states will go purple. Have you noticed that, the trend maybe over the past 25 years is that even with Clinton, once Reagan was out of office, Clinton took over, and when he was out of office, we had a balanced budget. W. Bush comes in, and we end up with a huge deficit,
From the
right?
war. Yeah.
Um, uh, after Obama was Trump. Trump comes in, economy, Trump's out of office, Biden comes in, gets things straightened out, and now look, it's going
Trillions of dollars in debt.
right. And then what really always fries me is many Republicans talk about that the Democrats spend too much, but yet with all these cuts that Trump was supposed to save all this money, he's spending more than any president in American history. So
Right.
where's all that saved money going? Right in his pocket and
Okay.
his rich friends. And we're still suffering. So the next Democrat that comes into office will pass legislation to keep crap like this from happening again.
Right.
But also, I feel like we'll be able to get the economy back on track.
I think so. So here's a good question. What about the $2,000 per person that Trump says he's going to give out, except to the rich people?
I'll believe it when I see it.
I'm going to look real quick to see if it would really happen. He knows he has to do something to gain people's favor
He can
because
try.
nobody likes him.
Right,
And then he's saying, "Oh, I'll give you guys two." And now they're saying, "Well, maybe we'll do 2,000 uh, tax benefit." Well, people can't get jobs.
right. And how long is that going to feed hungry mouths?
You know.
Right.
Tell me about the $2,000. Will the American people actually see it?
While you're doing that, could you put it on pause for just a second?
Sure.
Don't mind. Technical
So we
difficulty.
were at, do we think King Charles would hand over the files? I'm getting a no.
Okay, you were pulling cards on something, I forgot.
It will King
Okay.
Charles. And it says no, he makes a decision not to. I see them keeping it undercover as long as they can. If this is wide open and revealed, it'll take another, probably till the next president comes in.
Okay. Um, I do see it all revealed though. Okay,
Yeah.
sweetie darling Lulu says, "Hi, Linda and Mel. How difficult do they want to make it for Mandani to govern New York City for him to succeed?" Oh, they'll try everything in the book, but I can't pronounce his name, Mamdani. He's formidable. He will do what he needs to do to get things done.
Yeah, I see them lying a lot. There's a lot of lies coming out. He's decided to do this. You double check it. No such thing.
So that's a good point. So when you all hear something, make sure you double check what they're saying because a lot of it is going to be lies and misinformation.
Right. I see him actually really doing a good job with the city of New York.
So do I, actually. I think he'll do a really good job.
Oh, but Israel is not going to come visit New York. Bye.
Um, uh, well, people say he supported Palestine, but my guides have shown me that Israel and Palestine will have a peaceful coexistence in the future as two separate nations,
Yeah,
two separate states, but a peaceful coexistence. And I see a new leader coming to Israel who's a woman, um, who will not put up with any shenanigans,
right.
but will also promote peace in the Middle East. And so she'll be a brilliant leader for Israel.
Yeah.
And and that's what I see. So there you go.
So, um, I wanted to ask you. Oh, so Christy Nome authorized purchases of the planes from Spirit Airlines. Turns out Spirit doesn't own them. And none of the ones she bought came with engines.
Oh, geez.
I love it. I love it. But how fast do you think after we come out of this bull crappy, how fast till the airlines are up and running doing normal business? I think by Thanksgiving it's pretty good.
I think by Thanksgiving it'll be pretty good, at least another month before things finally settle down. Because what happens, they canceled all those flights, they were scrambling to redo them. Now all of a sudden they can put them back on. This has cost the airlines this, even by saying that they were gonna, do a 20% 20% reduction. It has cost the airline millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah,
It's cost the taxpayers millions of dollars. Um, and all those numbers are going to start to come out. And I'll tell you who's going to be crunching numbers behind the scenes on a lot of this is Pete Buttigieg. And he's going to, well, because he was Secretary of Transportation under Biden. Uh, and so he's going to come public and talk about right around before the elections how much money that it cost, how much money Trump's saying that the airlines had to shut down by 20%. And and if they try to blame the Dems, he's just going to keep going with the numbers. He'll hit them with the facts, with the numbers.
there you go.
So that's what I see. All right. Um, let's see. Let's see. I'm looking. Okay. Will establishment Democrats like Pelosi, Jeffries, and Schumer continue to either undermine or fail to support younger, more progressive candidates ahead of the 2026 and 2028 elections? Or will they change their approach and allow the Democratic National Convention to be more active and supportive of progressive candidates?
I see being more active in support, but I see it's very hard for them.
It is. It is. I see a lot of people who go from middle of the road to progressive. But what I see coming is a lot more of them speaking up. And rather than being reactive, they're going to start about strategies to be proactive. And that's what people are going to love.
Okay.
All right.
So someone wants to know, what do we see with Trump's body? How's it going? Is he on the verge of exiting yet?
My guy still keeps showing me dark clouds around his head areas, which could mean stroke. It could mean just something happening in his head. It's I still have my dreams about, the headline saying Trump has deceased. Uh, I had that dream again last night, actually. And so that's the only way I can answer it.
Wow, he's definitely got like a heart attack or something coming up.
Um,
Look at
yeah.
this. One thing after the other.
Um,
When? Six.
um,
It could be from now until February, March of next year.
well, I pull the nine of spades. That means he wants us to think that his health is rugged but good. But let's
He's going
see.
to make three faux pas. So that means before he goes down, he's done some other stupid things.
Right. Um, I don't know. I just I do not see him around for a long time. And I see the number 1.5. So here again, it doesn't mean anything. It could be a month and a half. It could be middle part of January. It could be crossing within the next year and a half. But his health, we've all been saying for a very long time, his health does not look good.
Yeah, no, it's not good at all. And
Okay.
did you see him dozing off with all kinds of people who are trying to present things and talk? And that guy passed out behind him and he was asleep when the guy passed out. I'm figuring he probably took a dump and the guy couldn't stand the smell.
That's what the contractors, when he was firing them, they said they couldn't stand to be around him because the smell was so bad.
Yeah.
So who
Governor
knew?
Newsom just announced that he wants all of us to look at the crises with young men. That's very important. The crises with young men.
What about it? I'm sorry.
There's a crisis going on with young men in America.
Like what? I'm sorry. What is the crisis? I'm
The
just.
crisis is young men aren't getting involved, or they're negatively involved, or they're really talking trash about women.
Oh
Most
wow.
of the men that are shooting people are because they ain't getting none and they're lonely and they're angry.
And I think that lends to the political climate that we're in, where, we have a regime in Washington that wants to use violence and gives a wink and a nod to violence. So, and then and then when people are having a hard time financially, they can't eat, they can't do this, they get frustrated. And many people, when they get
And
frustrated,
they're
they
watching their parents go through hell.
that's right. And so I think it can trace right back to this regime. Be interested to do a study to see how the amount of violence has increased with this administration.
Yeah, they won't let anybody know though.
No, they won't.
So let's ask last question. Will Jack Smith be able to testify before Congress
Yes.
publicly?
Numerous times.
Okay, let me look. In this administration,
Yeah, and they'll try to make him look bad. But, if Trump tries to prosecute him through a grand jury, it's going to get thrown out. Um, Trump is very afraid of Jack Smith.
he should
Uh,
be.
very
Because
afraid.
he told, and by the way, the guy hasn't mentioned a word, Jim Jordan. We need him to come in here. Yeah, I'll testify as long as it's public.
Right. Um, Jack Smith is still holding some things that have not been quite released.
He's itching, his fingers are itching to get it out. He's
Exactly.
sitting on the horse of success. He's sitting on justice. Look at this. If that's not justice coming, he wants to let go of everything he's holding on to so justice can be served.
I think he's almost wanting them to call him to Congress to testify.
But I don't see them doing it.
They don't because they're afraid. They're afraid of it.
But maybe when the Dems take over, they'll
That's
open that door.
That's exactly what's going to happen because the Republicans are afraid of him. They're afraid of what he's going to say. At least the MAGAs are. But you watch, you're right about that. When the Dems take over, he's going to be called to testify. And boy, that's when something hits the fan that it
And let
ain't.
me tell you what I just heard. You know, the guides don't like to talk bad about people, but they just said um, America's going to wipe the floors with Christine Nome, Pam Bondi, Cattell or Patel or whatever his name is. They're going to wipe the floors with them. They're going to make them come to Jesus moment.
Well, I think Pam Bondi, I see Pam Bondi going to jail for obstruction of justice, abuse of power. The same with Kristi Noem. Uh, and she'll testify in front of Congress, but she'll lie and she'll be nailed for that. This is
She
future.
already lied. She's already been called and she lied. So they're going to get her for lying. And the other ones, when we get the new president in, the other ones that are got a day of cometh is the Supreme Court.
Right.
But listen, the Supreme Court is going to be shocked what happens with them. But I'd like to know, do they know that's coming?
I think they're sensing it. I think they know that this too shall end. Um, I don't think Clarence Thomas, maybe not, but a few. But I see two of them being impeached and one resigning. Um, and boy, so yeah, there's going to be
Because I'm feeling, you remember they talked about Roosevelt when
right,
the Supreme Court kept working against him. And
right.
then he finally announced to America, you know what? I'm going to start packing the courts because I
Right.
can't get these people to budge. And then all of a sudden they started working for him.
That's
I
right.
was getting the feeling, which may have even started with this gay thing. I'm getting the feeling that they might, in fact, start not necessarily handing Trump, uh, the gold platform. I think that they're going to really do their job. Not not Thomas, but I feel like they won't. Like, look what they're doing on tariffs. You can tell by the conversation. They're not for it.
Mm-mm. I still see two of them impeached, one resigning. I heard Clarence Thomas about the gay marriage thing. Oh no, it
What
it
did he
needs
say?
it needs to be overturned. Voting rights, we need to look at that. We need to look at this. Oh yeah. Uh, and he just, I mean, what? What's he talking?
Anything that Trump puts out with trying to turn on voting rights, no mail and all that will be overturned.
Right, but Clarence Thomas, no matter what Trump does, is going to be for it. Uh, but I see Clarence Thomas in a lot of trouble. I see him being ill, but I see him resigning. But right now, I think they think that they're infallible. But there's a couple of
And
them
that
that
and that dog of his,
oh yeah,
and your dog too. So,
for the dog,
well, thank you, sweetie, for coming on for a Monday.
right?
I got things to do. I got to go grocery shopping. I got to call Alameda County to see about getting Jeff on my insurance because he doesn't have Medi-Cal anymore. I still haven't heard anything from them,
Wow.
from the congressman or from Medi-Cal, but they may take a long time. So,
I'll call again.
okay. All right,
Absolutely.
honey.
All right.
Thank you so much. Bye, you
Thank.
guys. Thank you. And you can subscribe to Mel at meldoor.com.
Yep. And go to Linda too and thumbs up. Subscribe.
Okay. Thank you, you guys. Bye.